Former President Trump proposing another tax move that could open up a loophole for wealthy Americans who move out of the country. Robert Frank joins us now with more. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe. Good to see you. Well, President Trump saying in a statement, quote, "I support ending the double taxation for overseas Americans." And he added, just to emphasize, register to vote, vote Republican. The campaign not providing any details on that plan. There are over 4 million Americans living overseas, about 2.8 million registered voters or eligible voters. Now, the U.S. is unique in that it taxes its citizens no matter where they live in the world. Other countries only tax those who live there. That's known as residency-based taxation. Now, for most Americans overseas, the current system adds a lot of paperwork and compliance, but rarely significant taxes, and that's because they get U.S. tax credits for taxes that they pay to foreign governments, and any income over $126,000 is exempt. Yet, if it's broadly defined, this could open a huge loophole for the wealthy. So if the U.S. truly switches to a residency-based system, the wealthy investors could move or set up a family office in a country with no capital gains tax, like Singapore, Dubai, New Zealand, and they could live tax-free on those investments. Currently, the only way to avoid U.S. taxes is to renounce your citizenship and you pay that exit tax, which is basically a capital gains tax on all your assets. Now, for more on tax policy and its impact on high earners, you can go to cnbc.com/InsideWealth. My new newsletter comes out in 1 hour, the latest issue. So sign up.
Can we just talk about sort of the impetus for this in terms of voters? We are still, what, a month away.
26 days.
Can people vote from abroad by mail fast enough to have an impact in this election? What is driving this?
So that's what's driving it. The hope that those voters have not voted by mail yet, and they will. This is an effort that's been going on for about 10 years for a group called Republicans Overseas, and they've been pushing for this. And the question is it time enough? Because a lot of those voters, my understanding is a lot of those mail-in ballots have already come in. So, you know, maybe he gets some at the margin. And also, it's unclear what states those voters are registered in. So and they may not be in the swing states.
How much money do we think we can collect? Or lose this way?
Well, lose. It's lose. It's lose. Yeah.
Okay. So what would be the benefit? So this is a total stop on the political front?
This is going to be very hard to score because, on the one hand, again, as I mentioned, because of that exemption of $126,000, and you get foreign tax credits to any that you pay, we don't raise much money from citizens living overseas. So it's not going to cost much. But what it could do is cost an unknown amount from the wealthy investors who would move to a growing number of countries that don't have any capital gains tax, and therefore all of your investment income, no matter where it comes from, would be tax-free, and you could still be an American citizen and just move to Singapore, New Zealand, Dubai, very nice places in the world.
Be there 6 months in a year?
Well, you'd be a resident. You'd be a tax resident.
6 months in a day,
you'd become a tax resident. And you could keep your... Right now, in order to do that, you have to renounce your U.S. citizenship and pay a tax on all of your assets as if they were sold when you
Which is why nobody does it.
That's why nobody does it.
But we are looking for ways to cut loopholes for billionaires. We've talked around this table, and Andrew's had some very good ideas about how to do that. This would open a massive one.
Well, again, this is, you know, he said, look, overtime pay will be exempt from taxes, Social Security be exempt from taxes, tip income. So this is just another category of voters that now, look, will Congress write this law in a way that allows wealthy investors to do that? I doubt it because of the income that you look at what's happening in Britain. Britain is actually raising capital gains taxes. They're already seeing capital flight by wealthy people either move or move their capital. So they're actually going the other way. They're going the other way and looking at imposing an exit tax like the U.S. does to prevent that capital from leaving. So this could be expensive if they take an expansive view of how to define double taxation. But we are the only country in the world, aside from Eritrea, that taxes citizens who live and work and earn income in other countries. So a lot of people say, look, that's weird, that's change.
Eritrea.
But it could be expensive, Eritrea. They have a large diaspora, so they have strange taxes. But that's the only other country.